test stream before I take off for work for the day. So what I'm going to do is just kind of talk through what I've been doing and working on. So let me grab this. Oh, I hate that. My audio, I'm hoping, sounds a lot better, a lot cleaner, and it should. And so what I've done here is I've implemented some new filters. So here's the default stuff that I was using. So now what I've done is I went to waves.net, which they have a sale right now. So again, if you want to take advantage of these plugins, you can get the same thing that I have here. So it's $80, get 2 free plugins, and there's tons of plugins that are on sale, dirt cheap. So this is what I've got now. So Clarity VX is the first plugin, and this replaces the noise suppression for OBS. This is a very powerful noise suppression tech plugin, VST plugin, and I highly enjoy it. Now, this is the way that I've got the Waves plugins to work. You need to download Studioverse from the Waves software. And then you install your plugins also from the Waves software. So this guy, you would just put your monitor on. Do I have the monitor on? Okay, no I don't, okay. And it's gonna use a neural network to kind of do a lot better noise suppression. So I wonder, I don't know if I can turn this one off and turn the other one on by itself. I'm not going to do that. I may do that in a later video. But this guy, super easy to use. You probably want to kind of watch your peak meter and stuff. And, oops, where did it go? And then basically you kind of slide it up from about 20 to 40% is usually all you're going to need for this guy. And that's all I did was adjust the knob to 32, it looks like. Then I got the Renaissance EQ VST plugin, and I've enabled the bands 1, 3, and 4. Was it 4? I thought it was 5. And then what I've done is set the shape. So I got like the bell curve here, and then the ramp, the high pass one here. And then I've adjusted, so like the first one's got a frequency of 80. I hate those bots. I'm gonna block them, or I don't know. So frequency of 80, 0 gain. I didn't mess with the Q. I don't really know what that is. For the third band here, I've got a -2 gain, 250 frequency, and then for the fourth, in a bell curve. And then here I got +2 gain, 4,000 frequency, and another bell curve on the Renaissance EQ. And then the last piece of the puzzle, where'd it go, is the RVox, the compressor. So this acts as your noise gate and compressor instead of, it replaces this guy and this guy for me. And then the EQ replaces slick EQ. And then I still have a limiter here at a -3 dB as kind of a catch-all, but that's the only filter that I'm using now in OBS. So I'm hoping I sound a lot better than I have before. And this is just going to be a short stream, really just talking about these 3 plugins. And again, they got a lot of cool presets. So if you look at the preset browser, you can kind of preset by artist. So I did Dave Darrington, In Your Face Local. It seems to work pretty good for me. I've adjusted this to, I think, 20 here. And I'm still learning what this all means, but I am consistently peaking in the yellow. I'm no longer touching in the red. So right now I'm talking a little louder than normal, and I touch the red. So not ideal there, but I don't get loud. typically. So hopefully it sounds good. So now I'm going to do kind of a test here. So I'm going to get quiet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And, you know, see how that sounds. I'm in a hotel room right now, so I bet you anyone walking by thinks I'm crazy. I'm not at home, I'm on the East Coast, but I just kind of wanted to share these plugin or these VST plugins that I used, and I think they just sound so much better. So I'll show you an example before and after. Let's do this guy. No, no, wrong one. Ignore that. Here's a test video. No, still too many. Here is a recording from the recording in OBS. Now, I know this isn't the same as when I hit start streaming, so I'm going to be curious to see how that sounds. I think we can come down. Yeah. So, I am going to probably be peeking into the red now. Hello, hello. There's the before, I believe, and this is the first after. So I'm going to be recording like this with my setup like this, and I don't know if I care too much. Oh no, this is where I got a call to go to work. Here's a test video with all of these fancy plugins. So again, it sounds, again, you're hearing me now like the way it is, so I'm not going to show you that, but if you look at my recent videos, they all kind of sounded like crap, and I'm probably going to delete a lot of the recent stuff I've done because it sounds so bad. I'm hoping this sounds better, and again, I'm going to end the stream shortly and just test and listen to it, but I believe I'm in a lot better state now with my OBS and the quality of my vocals. I'm using an interface and a AT2020 Audio Technica. So it's right here, and I have the Audio Technica logo facing me, and I have a pop filter in front of it. And then right down here is the interface where I can see the peak meter on the interface, and I can see that I'm getting into the yellow pretty consistently at this distance from the mic. And like a rule of thumb I saw is like you want your mic like this far away from you, but I have it, you know, a little further away. But again, I will lean up and do stuff like that as I go. So I'm just hoping this sounds good. This is just a quick stream to test my setup, because once I get my audio really dialed in, I'm gonna really start streaming game dev and get real serious about it again, as I'm getting really far along in my game project, which is a roguelike, well, not even gonna say that, it's more like a life sim, colony sim, RimWorld / Elin type video game. So this is just a test, and again, I'm probably gonna end the stream shortly because I got to go to work here shortly. But I will be back tomorrow morning. I'm going to be streaming, so if this sounds good, otherwise I'll continue tweaking my sounds. But I'm going to do a little more testing here. I'm going to get up, walk around, kind of turn like so. If I wanted to do this, or if because again, I'm very, I don't know, I move a lot, and that was part of my problem. I hate having to sit like exactly still and near a mic, and I think my settings before were just so bad that it did not accommodate. But these plugins, I think, are really up the game. So they're about $30 right now, each one, $29 to $34 on sale. So again, I highly recommend to take advantage of the waves.com sale right now, because you spend $80, you get 2 extra free ones. And I haven't even, there's a list of 100 ones that you can pick from. So I still got to pick my free ones. but I am using, again, Clarity VX, Renaissance EQ, and Renaissance Vox or RVox and this is for noise suppression, this is for equalizer, and this is the compressor gate VST that I am leveraging. So again, I'll bring them up one more time and kind of see where I've got the settings. Band 1 is on, band 3 is on, band 4 is on. You can kind of pause and look. I just changed the gain and the frequencies, and then, or maybe not even the gain, but that's that one. And then clarity, again, didn't do anything on single voice. I'm only putting it on single, and it's using a neural network. But the only thing I changed was setting this between 20 and 40%. I think I landed on 32.1. So this is a test for these settings, and I just wanted to share these plugins with y'all. And they're really nice. And again, you have to download them with Waves software, download software, and then you can install StudioVerse from Waves to get it into OBS. And OBS, it's going to look like this. It's going to say VS2 plugin, and then you pick Waves, and then you can open that interface. But I believe, even though it says VS2, these are VS3 plugins. VST3, sorry, I keep saying VS. So there's improvements from VST2 to 3. Like VST3 only works when it needs to, and it doesn't consume CPU and stuff as much when it's idling or not busy. So I'm learning about all this audio stuff, so I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but man, I've just been kind of stumbling my way through it, and I think I finally found the settings that I need. So there's a lot to learn, and I probably don't have things set right, especially the compressor, but I'm not peaking. I'm staying in the yellow, right? I'm not peaking out there in the red very often, unless I just, hey, why? People in the hotel room next to me are like, what the fuck? So, thanks for watching. I'm going to hop off here and get ready for work. I hope this sounds good when I play it back here in a few minutes. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, and hopefully this helped you, or it might help you. And you can get these things super cheap right now. I'm not affiliated or anything like that. I just found, I had a friend who's big into recording and music at work last night, and he was telling me about these things. And I just, I went ahead and committed and bought 3 of them, and I still got to pick my other 2. So I'm going to try to find another 2 plugins that complement the streamer setup, or like what I'm doing, and I might share those and my settings on those too. So it's cool stuff. I'm just not sold on the built-in filters of OBS now after using these tools or plugins. I think depends on how this sounds, but I'm also on the you have to consider I'm also on the hotel internet, and here's what my settings are right now. I meant to drop this down to 5500 because Twitch is 6000, and it just gives you a little room not to get unstable with Twitch. I need to turn that down. And then audio is, I got the mic that I got, I believe is 48 hertz here, and it's a mono single device, so I got mono here, and I've specified the interface as the microphone input, and then the interface plugs into the PC because this mic requires 48 volts of phantom power, whatever that is. Again, I'm learning, but it's working. I hope this sounds a lot better, and oh man, I cannot wait. Tomorrow I'm going to continue polishing the movement of the players and NPCs. I'm going to add more NPC AI and goals and logic around farming and the player's ability to farm. So I've got, what is it here? this asset I just bought, it has a bunch of 30 crops that have all their growth stages and all that, and they're low. They got animations for harvesting, all that. So tomorrow, on top of the AI, I'm going to show you how I'm going to quickly put these into my scriptable, data-driven item system and AI systems. Almost everything in my game is really driven by scriptable objects. But I'm going to show you, I have editor scripts and stuff to quickly take prefabs and different assets, because these have icons, they have their prefabs, they have their harvest particle effects and all that. So I'm going to use my editor scripts to quickly get them into my game's format and stuff like that. So tomorrow I should have all 30 of them in there, and then I'll have the beginnings of like the farming and stuff going on. So it's gonna be cool. I can't wait to get home. But I work from here in about 30 minutes. So I gotta start work. I gotta go to the pharmacy, and I'll work till about 11. And really just babysitting the code right now. So it's should be a boring night, but I'm excited to get back here tomorrow and really lay into some stuff. And I really, really hope this sounds good. I don't know if anyone's there that can confirm that for me right now, but if you are, say yay, nay. I see viewers, but it's probably bots. Again, thanks for watching, and I am excited to hear this as soon as I stop playing it. All right, have a good one, guys. I'm off to work.